For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, we are live and amplified. So let's get ready to podcast.
Fire it up.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you been?
Oh, busy. That's
the way I see it.
Yeah. How are things going with you?
Good, dude. Just staying busy, playing some shows here and there. In fact,
Nice.
played last night, so I apologize in advance for my voice being a little scratchy. But besides that, man, things are good.
It's all good. I did a whole bunch of podcasts yesterday, so I'm sure my voice doesn't sound that much better. So
You're sounding good, man. Don't worry about it.
awesome. All right. So where are you at right now?
Man, I'm actually in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, right this second. So
Awesome. And you heading out to do another show tonight, or are you staying in South Carolina?
I'm actually not, man. It's a good friend of mine's birthday, so came down here to do a celebration thing for a couple days.
Nice. And so,
In fact, she's actually from New Mexico, so that's
sweet.
interesting.
Yeah.
Alice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's way up north there.
Yeah, well, I don't know much about it, but
Yeah.
figured you might.
Yeah, a little bit. I've never been to Taos. I just happen to know where it's at. So,
Cool.
cool. So, what's new? What's exciting? How's the music going?
Music's going good, man. We're getting ready to release another single. We had Thin Disguise, obviously. We've talked about this before. It did really well, and it's still charting, and things are going great with it. Cliche kind of fell off of the charts probably, I don't know, a few months back, but still, I had the success with it just the same. It did go up to number one as well. Same Place, which is a song that I wasn't really planning on releasing, and it ended up being released under AAA radio, which is kind of odd for my style, for it being as more hard rock as it is. And it has done incredibly well. It's approaching the same status that Thin Disguise did. So
Oh, wow.
pretty rad, man. So I'm excited about that. And then the new one's coming out. It's called Faultline. And of course, this is all off the same album. So it's, for me, I'm ecstatic because, who gets the chance to release 4 tracks off of one album? It's awesome.
For sure. How's so for Faultline, what's the story behind that song?
Good. You always hit me with the good questions that I never am prepared for. So
That's all good.
with Faultline, it was it's kind of like a drawing a line in the sand attitude towards relationships and either do it or don't do it kind of thing, and figuring out the differences that set people apart, and then do this one more time kind of thing, and you're cut off, and do that kind of thing, and you're cut off, and blah 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 blah. But the songs, and I've told you this before, I try to write really vague in a way of making it so that everyone can pull it to their own story and choose the words wisely that way. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's about it, man. I'll leave it up to the listeners to really figure out what's going on. So
Cool. That's actually really the best way to do it, so each listener can relate to it in their own way, and
that's right.
Just draw personal experiences or whatever it may be as they see fit for the song.
Of course.
And so so this is coming off for a full length album, right? This is all building up to a full length.
It's a good question. So what happened with the recording process when we first got into it was that the nominations and the things that I was applying for, or management was applying for and going towards, it had to be at least X number of tracks. And I want to say it was at least or something like that. So technically it was an EP, but then I threw in a interlude and an outro. And of the interlude and the outro, what they did really was just allow for me to be able to go towards things like the Music Academy and the Grammys and all the other different sources, Josie Awards and all the different things that come up. So I threw those in there, not to cheat and not release, not to release a bunch of, garbage, but there was tracks that I genuinely were making anyway, but we just threw them in there and then placed them in as an interlude and a outro.
Gotcha. So it kind of got you to where you needed to be as far as the album's concerned, or where you wanted to be, not necessarily needed to be.
Right. It's like an extended play +2 kind of thing. Yeah. So, right.
Gotcha. That sounds perfect. A perfect way to describe it.
Right.
But so that album's not out yet, correct? It's still...
It is. Yeah. The album's out for sure. Cause I did release the album, but we originally, I think the last time you and I had gotten together and spoke, I just released a single from it.
That's right.
But then the album, and then that took off immediately and did really well. And then probably 4 months later, it ended up doing really, great. And then everything else came out right behind it. So
yeah, for sure. Awesome. That's really cool. And so as for like the full body of work, what's been your favorite song to perform live off this album? Down by the Fire, for the people that are curious.
Yeah. Off of the Down by the Fire EP or album, whatever you want to call it.
I'm gonna just call it an album so my brain doesn't have to think as hard.
That's okay. I understand that. Yeah. Thin Disguise performance wise is still, man, you got to look at it like this. It was my kind of my comeback track, and it took off. It's still sitting in the charts. And I mean, that's been over a year ago. So I mean, to sit on the charts that long is strong for any artist at all. And so I got to say, I'm happy about that. And it's paid off. Like it should.
Yeah, so sure. And the fact that you're getting a lot of legs off of every single, or pretty much every single track, is really amazing. And it'll hopefully keep the full album going as you're out there playing shows and re-release, or not even re-releasing, but
just releasing the singles off of it.
Releasing the singles off of it.
It's funny you say that. I was talking to management and some other, people that are involved with, that are in my camp, and even people outside of it. I'm like, well, now that I'm starting to fall off of being relevant in the rock charts and in the rock listeners, it's like, well, it's time to release another track. And I was like, it'll blow up for a little bit, then it'll die again, and then I have to just continually put the music out and on and on and on. And I think that's the only way to stay relevant, is just continue to keep creating music and pushing forward, and hope to gain more and more listeners. So
yeah, absolutely. Which rolls right into my next question of where you're at creatively right now. Are you just kind of always writing, or where are you kind of at right now?
Man, I am. I'm in a heavy writing process at this point in time. And, me doing all the instruments and playing everything myself, writing it, producing it, the whole deal. Now I've got a band that I've kind of put together, and there's a lot of let's figure everything out so that we can begin to tour. I did a lot of dates, traveling all over the place, even out towards your way, in fact, here recently. And, I did it all solo, and I did it with radio promotion, popping in studio, that kind of thing. And, creatively, anytime I'm traveling or anytime I'm on the road, I never leave the book never leaves my side. So I'm always writing, and I'm always putting new things down and new ideas and new tracks. But I've got to keep in mind that as I'm kind of training my band, everything, it's a slow process, and I want things to be, right on the money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anybody to be fooled by us just kind of faking our way through it. So we're all working together really tightly and trying to put things together. And as far as songwriting, we're working together on that versus me just do everything on my own like I did the first time. So.
Gotcha. So to kind of point out why we're here today, it is to raise funding and awareness for pancreatic cancer research. I've said that 800 times. I still can't get it right. That's amazing. Which leads me to my next question of, have you had any family members or any experiences with pancreatic cancer or just cancer in general?
Pancreatic cancer, no. Cancer directly, yes. Grandmother, grandfather, mother, aunt. And unfortunately, it's just one of those things that it continues to come up, and doesn't seem to be anybody has any real answers as to how to fix it.
Yeah.
Or to try to support it. So.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully we can make a little bit of a dent here with what we're doing, at least in the pancreatic cancer side, because the survivability rate right now is like 10%. So
yes, that's terrible. It's awful.
Yeah, it's just not good. So hopefully we can make a little bit of a dent and try and get the survivability up a little bit more for everyone. So
sure.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with any medicines or anything that's going on currently to try to help with that?
There's like everything. We didn't really get a chance to look into too much because when my mother got sick, she was so late she was like late stage 4. So when she got diagnosed, so we didn't really get a chance to, other than chemo, like there was a couple of different chemo things that they tried, but my mom just was like, I can't do this,
Right.
But there's some just some of the stuff that I've read that they're they have some high hopes for the proton radiation as a possibility, which is what they use for other forms of cancer. But the issue is that the pancreas is buried so deep and kind of in a weird spot that they can't necessarily always get the proton radiation beam to where it needs to be to hit the cancer. So, but other than that, there's some other like procedures and stuff going on, but it's one of those things where you're going to live with other health issues for the rest of your life, so like diabetes and stuff like that I think it's diabetes, but there's other like health issues that you'll start experiencing with that. So, but
I don't know a whole lot about it, but something that needs to be addressed for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I just wanted to take a couple minutes to talk about that, so anybody that's listening right now can kind of understand why we're here and all that fun stuff. So going back to your music, what's the rest of 2022 looking like for you? I'm sure you got shows planned and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I have a few shows, mainly here in North Carolina. North Carolina, we have Colorado coming up, California, West Virginia, New York, Florida, but not playing as much as we should, and not really attacking it. Trying to kind of lay low and get everything really, 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 really ready when everything fully opens back up. But, here and there we're popping in and doing some shows. And, like I said, putting the band together and trying to write all the same time. It's a lot of the focus is on getting everything to sound like it should.
Awesome. And when you tour, when you're out playing, right now you're mainly doing everything solo, or are you starting to incorporate the band?
I'm starting to incorporate some of the guys. So I just did a tour where it was more of like a duo thing. and was gone for a long time. And then my guitarist here in, North Carolina, not far from, I'm right across the border, whatever, but Josh Boyd, he, phenomenal guitar player. He's really picked it up and knows exactly what to do and how to play it. And we're just trying to fill everybody in, one by one, and then play shows, as we can, but then incorporate more and, band practice, that kind of thing. I almost feel sometimes like even though I took so many steps forward, it's like I'm going backwards again and starting to do the band practice thing again, which is completely outside of the realm of what I'm used to doing anymore.
Yeah.
But we're doing it, and it sounds incredible when we put it all together. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I'm excited to get out on the road and show everybody what we've been working on. So
awesome. Well, hopefully that happens sooner rather than later, because I know, like, at least when I go to shows, I prefer seeing like a full band up on stage, just because the energy is there, and all that fun stuff. So hopefully that'll happen. One of the things that we've been doing throughout this entire fundraising effort is I have a random question generator sitting right here.
Oh God, don't say that.
And so we've been giving everybody one swing of the random question generator. So if you're ready, I have your question right here.
I don't know if I'm ready, Tom. Come on, hit me.
All right. What is your life slogan or tagline?
I'm the world's worst to ask this to. Oh boy. Oh God, you would hit me with something like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got another one right here. I just swiped it again for you if you want to take this other question.
Yeah. Okay, go.
It's a little bit more direct. So have you ever had a near-death experience?
Yes.
What was the story?
Which one do we want to go with?
The most recent one.
The most recent one? Oh, no, we want to do that.
Or whatever's most recent or most fresh.
In fact, I was in the same city that I'm in right now, and I went to go see Blue October. Mm-hmm. They played a concert at a House of Blues here in Myrtle Beach. Mm-hmm. And being a little bit clumsy and gangly and tall and all that, I wasn't paying attention to the steps that were in front of me. Mm-hmm. And maybe I had a few drinks, but I completely, like, on accident, walked right off of like a 2-foot, 3-foot ledge and tried to catch myself. And it happens to be right on the main strip here in Myrtle Beach. Yeah. And I tripped and fell out, and there was a car coming. And I almost walked my big ass out in oncoming traffic, like bad. And it was close. It was close enough to where the hairs on my neck stood up and that kind of thing. And luckily I was able to hop back before I got hit with a car.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
So yeah, that one was a little bit scary, but to boot, I could throw this one at you. So about a week before that, a buddy of mine, I live in a historic area in downtown Wilmington, North Carolina. And he came out and was talking and turned around and wasn't really paying attention. And he accidentally, I don't know to call it an accident or not an accident, but he basically fell off the balcony onto his head. And if anybody's gone through a near-death experience, it's my buddy RJ. Oh, wow. And he fell onto his neck. Yeah. Into a bush from 2 stories up. And it was one of the scariest things I've seen in a long time, but God bless him. He's doing all right. And everything seems to be okay with him. He's
that's good.
Doing
that's
a good thing. So
yeah, for sure. But yeah. So as far as shows and all that stuff, you'll keep everybody updated. If they want to check out all that stuff, where's the best place for them to do that?
Yeah, like I said, I've said before, and I'm sure the listeners have heard that, it's easier just to, if you just Google my name, or if because I don't know what platform everybody uses.
Yeah.
So the easiest way is to do that. And then there's all the links underneath it. But outside of that, it's available. Everything's available. Spotify, Bands in Town, Live Nation, ETix for any shows that I've got coming up. And then, obviously iTunes and everywhere else, anywhere it's available streaming or even to download. So
awesome. Well, once again, I want to thank you so much for jumping on here. Really, really appreciate it. It's been a blast chatting with you for a little bit, and hopefully your voice comes back a little bit and you enjoy it.
No, man, I apologize. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Thank you so much for taking the time to do stuff like this and to help others. It means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, if you want to donate, the donation links are in the description below or in the comment thread. And we will be back here in a little bit with Rooftops.
All right. See you, Tom. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.